Here we go again. The Westminster bubble and the political class are once again thinking of themselves. While we, normal people around the country, are dealing with everyday problems, they are thinking about securing their own positions. Now, the Tories are thinking of calling an early election in an event of Keir Starmer resigning. Now, you might say, why would Starmer resign? Well, it's his own fault because Beergate is still happening and the investigation by Durham police. And I know it's unlikely. Maybe that's his bluff. It's a gambling risk that he's taking. But if Durham police give him a fine because of Beergate, he's already confirmed that he's going to resign. Which is, as I say, is a bit of a gamble. But the Tories have decided to use that to say that while the Labour Party are going through a leadership election to find a new leader, there's perfect time to call an early election so that Boris could just win by default. Now, there were speculations before about the Privileges Committee, if they find Boris Johnson, if he's misled Parliament or lied to Parliament, then if they tell him to resign, then they're going to call an election. But actually, that's unlikely. That's just Westminster gossip. But this is quite interesting. The Tory party, Tory sources have said, Labour would have spent 3 months tearing chunks out of themselves, and each candidate would inevitably have to lurch to the left to win the vote. It's the best chance we'd have of securing another majority under Boris. That's a sad state of affairs, that the Boris Johnson's Tory party can only win if the Labour Party is in a mess. Because they know that the country are not happy with either parties. And if it's a normal situation, the party would reject both parties. The public would reject both parties. And that's a sad thing to say. But it is a situation. Now, the interesting thing is, Boris Johnson was talking to Nick Ferrari on LBC, and the first few seconds, because he wants to please everybody, he accidentally went along with Nick Ferrari's line that, oh yeah, I don't see an early elections coming up. And then he realized, oh, you can't really say that. He can't confirm it because they have everything ready to go. So then he had to change his mind. Watch this.
Conservatives have become about as popular as a dose of monkeypox. You've lost a safe seat, a seat you just won, and your party chairman. The idea of an early election is ridiculous, isn't it? You need to go long.
Totally. Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to... What I decided, by the way...
Well, I'm glad you agree. There's no early election. You need every day.
No. Look, actually, I mean... I'm not going to comment on...
no, you agreed. You're going long.
No, hang on. Well, I want to be very clear with people because they always ask me these types of questions, you know...
Initially, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Actually, let me answer it. Let me be clear. You know how politicians, like, every time they want to answer questions, they let me be straight. Let me be honest with you. Let me directly address the question. What were you doing before that? And then he continues by changing the topic by talking about the priorities of this government, build back better and levelling up and all the nonsense. So it was just...
Of course they do. You're the Prime Minister. Don't be surprised. You used to do it for a job.
Right, exactly.
Precisely. So don't be surprised that we're doing it now.
Exactly. But let me give you the demarcation, right? What my job is to talk about the government's agenda.
Yes.
To talk about policy. To talk about the UK. To talk about how we're fixing the cost of living problems, the cost of living crisis. Talk about everything we're doing to strengthen the UK economy, our plan for a stronger economy.
Stronger economy. I mean... I can't really help myself because I try my best to be objective here. And some people would say, oh, this channel is too Boris bashing. Or then on the other side, some people would say, oh, Boris, you're a bootlicker. Like, you love Boris. And then some people say, you hate Boris. I'm like, I can't please everybody, can I? Because I'm neither. I'm just trying to analyze the situation. And some people also say, well, you promised us an early election, Maya. You said it in the video. I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying what they're saying. If they change their mind, don't come to me and say, Maya, what happened to the early election that you called it? I'm not predicting anything.
What I believe, talk about levelling up, the agenda for taking this country forward. That's what I want. That's what I am actually meant to talk about. Now, you, in all your genius, are meant. What you are meant to talk about. One of the things
is to hold you to account.
Your analysis.
To ask how long you've got as PM to deliver on your manifesto. That's perfectly justified.
It's very justified. That is absolutely spot on. Now, again, to try to be logical and balanced here, we have talked a lot on this channel about the mess of the Labour Party, the Lib Dems, the SNP. But also, let's be honest, the Tory party is not in a strong position to dictate what the political environment should be, considering they just had one of the whips, the deputy whip of the party in government, Chris Pincher, who is now in trouble because of groping. There's a problem in the culture of Westminster, by the way. Everyone's they're just weird. They're all sociopathic and psycho. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. And this is a list of the recent crisis scandals the Tory party have had. They had David Warburton, who's lost the whip. They had Imran Ahmad Khan, who's of course now went away. Neil Parish, who's obsessed with tractors and tractor videos, who also disappeared. We had another anonymous Tory MP who was arrested. And then we have now Chris Pincher. I mean, we keep talking about the SNP having weirdos in the party. We talk about the Labour Party, Labour politicians being also disgusting and vile. But this is the state of affairs for the Tory party. I mean, these are the options we have as the electorate. And well, this is why a lot of people are considering to vote for smaller parties. But again, is that going to happen? Because a lot of people would say, oh, well, I'm going to vote for a small party. But then at the end of the day, when it comes to general elections, people will go to the ballot box and say, well, it's this constituency and this the leadership and prime minister, we're going to have to vote nationally. And that means for one of the main two parties. And then the whole thing repeats itself every 4 years. This is the situation we have. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know about this news update. Hopefully you enjoy the content. So subscribe to the channel, share the video. I'm Tousi and we are the media.